Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this special opportunity that we have to work together in meditation at this time of the Venus transit, which is in full play right now, and will continue for another almost 2 hours. So if you're in a time zone that's conducive to remaining in a meditative state rather than sleeping, such as what I'll be doing shortly, I would urge you to continue holding this alignment. It's a powerful opportunity, once in a lifetime, actually. Well, twice in our lifetime, because we know that the first Venus transit occurred 8 years ago in June of 2004. So I just wanted to turn on my recording here. All right. We will make these files available both on my website and on a Google Doc website that we've set up. So if you'd like to review them at a later time, feel free. So let's just begin with a moment of silence to link up with all the other individuals and groups throughout the world who are working together to establish this vast planetary alignment. O thou who givest sustenance to the universe, from whom all things proceed, to whom all things return, unveil to us the face of the true spiritual sun, hidden by a disk of golden light, that we may know the truth and do our whole duty as we journey to thy sacred feet. So the way we'd like to try and schedule this meeting is that I'll share a few thoughts. Then we could open it up to any comments or questions from you briefly, and then followed by a meditation, which will be basically a visualization of this actual Venus transit. And then for those of you who'd like to just remain in silence, you can sign off at that time. But we will, after a pause for silence, after the conclusion of the meditation, then we'll open it up for sharing of any impressions that might have come to you during the meditation. For some of you, that might be a new process, but it is a time when ideas can come to us that might not appear in our consciousness at other times. So it is a valuable thing to share if you can resonate with that idea. So during this time of alignment within our solar system, between the Sun, Venus, and the Earth. We can only speculate that that systemic alignment undoubtedly extends to points that are extra zodiacal in their emanating point. It seems that the alignment, in other words, must extend beyond our solar system to include perhaps an alignment with the great star Sirius, which we are told by the Tibetan is very much in play during this Gemini festival, and we are still within the orb of the Gemini festival. And who knows what other constellations or configurations of stars may also be cooperating with us in what surely is an alignment that is related very much to our planet. We focus, it seems, very much on Venus and the Sun coming into alignment, but we know from the teachings of esoteric astrology that our Earth always stands in exact opposition to the Sun at any particular time. And so at this time, when Venus is aligning with the Sun, both points stand in alignment or in opposition to our Earth. And we know from the teachings of esoteric astrology that there is a deep connection between the planet Venus and the planet Earth. In a certain sense, you could say that Venus stands in the sign of Gemini as the immortal twin, and we, the Earth, stand as the mortal twin. So Venus is definitely our sister, but she is, as many of you know, one of the sacred planets in our solar system, of which there are 7, and the Earth, as is readily observable from the state of affairs on planet Earth, is one of the non-sacred planets. So part of the dharma or spiritual responsibility of the planet Venus, we're told, is to help bring her sister, us, into the light. So it would seem fairly obvious that during this rare opportunity, which only occurs approximately every 121 years, that this would be a time when Venus is really shining her light on our planet. She stands, we're told, as the soul to our planet. As the soul stands to the personality, Venus stands to the earth. And the Tibetan even gives a very interesting quote related to this alignment between the Sun, Venus, and the earth. In a treatise on cosmic fire, he relates it to the great influx of Venusian energy that occurs in the life of those disciples who are passing through that great third initiation, which from the perspective of the hierarchy we know is considered really the first initiation. But at that time, we're told that there is a great influx of Venusian energy, as I said, which enters into the mind, the lower concrete mind. The third initiation is controlled by the fifth ray, and therefore Venus, being the planet on the fifth ray, it becomes very active. And so we could speculate that because this is, some of us have projected that this is a year perhaps, or at least a time of initiation, planetary initiation, human initiation, solar initiation, that this alignment that's being set up right now between Venus, the Sun, and the Earth could be symbolic in some way of this alignment that's created at the third initiation, which, as this quote says, in the human triangle, links the monad, the ego, and the personality. And the Tibetan says, or Venus, the Sun, and the Earth are symbolically allied. So Venus is very important to watch during this year. And the Tibetan does state that increasingly as the Aquarian age unfolds, astrologers will pay more and more attention to the planet Venus. Hitherto, he says, and it is true that astrologers have paid more attention to the planet Mars with its reputation as causing wars and all kinds of problems. But as we move away from a focus in our psychology on the problems and more into how we can achieve integration, which the Tibetan says will qualify the new incoming psychology, integration between the soul and personality, we can see how he states that the cycles of Venus will come into increasing importance. Hence our opportunity tonight to work decidedly within perhaps the most important cycle of Venus that we will experience in our lifetime. As I said, they only occur every 121.5 years, and so the next Venus transit will not occur until the year 2117, which is a very important year um, in our planetary life, because the Tibetan does give that year as the starting date of the Aquarian age. So isn't that interesting to ponder that the next Venus passage will coincide exactly with the dawning, the true dawning of the Aquarian age. Although we tend to think that we're already within that age, actually we're not yet there. So certainly this passage tonight is another step in that direction. And we should also point out that each of the signs that's ruled by Venus therefore becomes particularly important in this process of initiation. In fact, the Tibetan gives us an interesting quote in that regard, speaking of the Venusian signs as being related to minor initiations taken on the astral plane, then leading to the major initiation which occur in Capricorn. So he says Taurus, Gemini, and Libra are all related by a shared rulership of Venus and are said to constitute minor initiations taken upon the astral plane in preparation, as I said, for the major initiation which will occur in Capricorn. And so this coming December being the festival week of the new group of world servers certainly could be an opportunity for initiation. And so the signs, the festivals of Taurus, which has just passed, and Gemini, which we're still in, and then the Libra full moon period could be very crucial periods of a certain type of cleansing, the Tibetan hints at here, of the astral vehicle, leading to the more mental focus, perhaps, under the influence of Capricorn in December. So here's an interesting passage, picture for those of you who are not familiar with the extraordinary movement between Venus and the Earth as they travel around the Sun. We're told that over an 8-year cycle, because of their varied rates of movement, they form together an 8-pointed star around the Sun with the pentagram. As you see, the pentagram is always formed in the center of a 5-pointed star. But truly, there is a divine geometrician, I guess you could say, and it is alive. He or she is alive and well within our solar system. And also, it's true that Venus makes a similar pattern in its orbits within the Earth itself. It orbits around the Earth, symbolically speaking, forming a similar 5-pointed star or lotus. And there's an interesting comment related to this on a website called Lunar Planner, if you're not familiar with that. He gives us a lot of information about Venus there and other interesting facts. So here's just some interesting facts about Venus. These aren't speculations. Venus revolves in the opposite direction compared to the Earth and to its rotation around the Sun. Thus, on Venus, the Sun and stars rise in the west and set in the east. A Venus day is longer than its year. It takes Venus 243 Earth days to make one rotation and 224 Earth days to orbit the Sun. The Venus day is exactly 2/3 of an Earth year. Because Venus revolves once every 2/3 of an Earth year, Venus revolves exactly 12 times in the 8-year pentagonal period, thus showing the same side of her body to Earth in the 8-year period. This near-perfect harmonic resonance between the Venus day, the Venus year, and Earth's year is one of the astrophysical dynamics creating the gentle and harmonious astrological character of Venus. Thus we have 5 synodic cycles and 12 Venusian days occurring in 8 Earth years, creating a near-perfect Venus-Earth synergy. So you can study more about that if you would like to on that website. And I'll just finish up my comments by posting these very uplifting passages from the Secret Doctrine related to Venus and her relationship to the Earth. Venus is far older than the Earth. She is the little sun in which the solar orb stores his lights. So the sun stores energy, perhaps symbolically, within Venus, which then this light comes through Venus, who receives a triple supply and gives 1/3 of her light to the Earth. So indeed she is our soul. Earth and Venus are called twin sisters. Venus is the most occult, powerful, and mysterious of all the planets. She is the Earth's primary or spiritual prototype. The planetary logos of Venus loved the Earth so well that he incarnated and gave it perfect laws, which were disregarded and rejected. Every sin committed on Earth is felt in Venus. Every change in Venus is reflected on Earth. Venus is the light bearer of our Earth in the physical and mystic sense. So we can see how we are blessed, those of us who choose to align with this immortal sister. We are blessed, and truly tonight tonight we have an opportunity to work together in meditation to build that bridge in consciousness which is surely being built by our spiritual hierarchy and the great lords within Shambhala, who are reaching out and building the interplanetary Antakarana, which we can bask in and in our meditation attempt creatively to visualize. So I'd like to open it up now to anyone who would like to raise their hand, which you do by clicking some button. I believe there's a button somewhere that you can raise your hand if you would like to make a comment or have a question in need of clarification. I'm not sure, 810, if you really have your hand raised, because your hand has been raised the whole time, so I think it's just something that's set up in your particular link with us. I don't see any brave hands. No one's waving at me. Give you a minute more if you have a thought to share. If not, perhaps we'll just go into our meditation. And again, if anyone would like to share after the meditation, please do so. You might have some thoughts that come to you. Okay. I would usually use music with these meditations, but unfortunately it's not possible with this GoToWebinar setup. So let's just begin by linking up with each other and with the group soul and with the soul of all other groups throughout the world. And let's invoke the aid of the great teachers to aid us in our work. Let's link with the planet as a whole and the oneness of all life, and breathe in rhythm with this life. Now let's extend the group onto Corona Bridge, visualizing ourselves as a group, walking slowly and quietly through a long, narrow passageway. Entering into a room full of peace and calm and meditation. And link with the teachers gathered there. and extend the alignment to the great center lying far beyond Shambhala. And imaginatively extend the contours of our minds to reach out and become receptive to the inpouring energies from the planet Venus. Visualize the alignment of Venus with the sun. See the sun purifying Venus. See her merging with the sun and becoming one. Visualize Venus becoming resplendent. And visualize the direct alignment between Sun, Venus, and the Earth. Visualizing a 5-pointed star with the Earth, with the Sun at the center. Imaginatively stand as a group within the heart of the Sun, opening ourselves to the inpouring energies of the second ray and Gemini. Now standing as a group within the aura of the World Teacher, united with all true servers everywhere. Visualize a downpouring of golden lighted energy onto the earth. Receiving that solar Venusian prana and pouring out the energy through the heart center in a wave of compassion and forgiveness upon humanity. Silently sound the Om while continually visualizing this great outpouring of golden lighted love. Now withdraw the consciousness again into the periphery of the great ashram and dedicate yourselves to the service of the plan. And bring the energies down into the cave of the head, visualizing a radiant earth surrounded by a network of golden triangles. See the plan working out. And distribute the energies through the Ajna center and the 5 planetary inlets of New York, London, Geneva, Darjeeling, and Tokyo. Sounding the great invocation in the adapted wording, pausing briefly between stanzas. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into human minds. Let light descend on earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into human hearts. May the coming one return to earth. From the center where the will of God is known, let purpose guide all little human wills, the purpose which the masters know and serve. From the center which we call the human race, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. Let light and love and power restore the plan on earth. Thank you, everyone. If anybody has any impressions that they would like to share, please raise your hand, or you could share it on the chat mechanism at the bottom. Okay, I see someone. Vicky, did you have something you'd like to share?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Um, I just wanted to say thank you for this. I'm astounded at the sense of feeling that I got from everything today that I must do more. Um, I guess, what you've been talking to me about service. And it seems that I might be able to do that better now. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank Venus.
Yes.
Thanks, Vicky. Did anyone else have any impressions that they'd like to share? Nope. Okay. You had your chance. Once in a lifetime chance here. Okay. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for your participation and your willingness to work with Venus. Good night.